Hey folks, how's everybody doing today? Hope you're doing well. Got the same old here. I woke up, so I won the lottery, and other than that, I could complain, but why? I'm at Walking Pima today, and I'm listening to the podcast as usual. And it gave me the idea for today's video. Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. The left is having an absolute meltdown over this. Now, well, where you sit on this, I don't really care. Originally, I said he probably shouldn't because if Trump replaces it, it's just going to inflame the Democrat base. But then Ted Cruz said if he doesn't, you have a 4-4 deadlock, and this will invariably wind up going to the Supreme Court because they're trying everything they can do to invalidate this election and get Trump removed from office. This is the shit I listen to, and you wonder why I'm a crazy person. But we're not going to talk about that. Instead, we're going to talk about something else. We're going to talk about why it's okay for one side but not the other. Why it's rules for thee but not for me. And the reason this got me going is as soon as she died and Mitch McConnell said we need to get this done, there were protests at his house, people yelling, screaming, I believe threatening, but I can't find anything. So I am sure at some point, and I could be wrong, that I had heard things along the lines of, he better. That's a threat. He better not. That is a direct threat. Okay. He better not push through the nomination or we'll burn this all down. That was Don Lemon, I think. I think Don Lemon said something distinctly stupid like that. But I also believe that the protesters in front of his house were saying the same sort of rhetoric. Now, and it's not just him. Lindsey Graham, we all know what a steel-spined bastion of whatever he might be a bastion of. He's getting it too. And there's video up all over the place of these people out in front of there. They were in front of Lindsey Graham's house, and it was well past 10 o'clock. Now, I don't know about D.C., but in Arizona, after 10 o'clock, that's called disturbing the peace. Granted, it's a misdemeanor unless you decide you're not going to listen to the cops. But now the left say, well, we're not dispersing because this isn't disturbing the peace. Because I'm sure all of Lindsey's neighbors were 100% behind these people. We're having a protest. That's all well and good. And I don't know. I'd be surprised if Lindsey doesn't live in a gated community. These guys all have security out the ass for exactly these reasons, but I don't know where he lives. I put it into the search engine and said, where does Lindsey Graham live in D.C.? And I got a bunch of stuff, and none of which is Lindsey Graham's house, which means the FBI is probably on their way to my house now. I'm not going to D.C. I don't give a fuck what these people do. So hopefully the FBI watches this before they kick my door in and shoot my dog. Secret Service, I would think, actually. But, now, I'm Lindsey Graham's neighbor, and these fucktards are out there with their air horns and their bull horns and their strobe lights. Hey, Lindsey, wake up, Lindsey. It's time to wake up, Lindsey. I'm on the phone with the cops like, dude, it's fucking midnight. I gotta go to work in the morning. I need to get these assholes off my fucking street. Can't do that. You see, they're leftists and they're peacefully protesting. There's nothing peaceful about you disturbing the peace after, and again, I say here it's 10 o'clock. I don't know what it is in D.C. So at that point, these people should have been removed. If they resisted, then they should have been arrested and removed. And at that point, I don't care if you let them fucking go. As long as they're not doing anything stupid. Don't give a shit. But you need to go to fuck home. McConnell wasn't home, and his neighbor who doesn't like him, which I don't find particularly hard to believe. I don't think there's a lot of people that truly like Mitch McConnell and find him very warm, but I'm sure he's probably got some decent friends. He was able to go out there and say, hey, he's not here. You guys are wasting your time, so can you leave, please? Lindsay wasn't home either, but nobody went out to do that. I think that was a pretty smart ploy, and it got the people off the friggin' street and basically shut down just the ruckus and noise that they were creating. None of those people got charged because there was nothing to charge them with, you see. When they threatened Mitch McConnell, he better not. That's not a real threat. That has to be what they're thinking, because otherwise, there's tape. You can find these people, clap them in irons and drag them in, because you're not allowed to threaten public officials. Do you know this? If you make a direct threat toward an elected official, this is considered like serious stuff. Regardless of whether or not you have the IQ of a friggin' rock. But, and again, I'm sick and tired of censorship on the internet, because I remember when it happened, hearing things, and then I go to find them and I can't find them anymore. It drives me fucking nuts. I don't hear voices, so I'm pretty sure this isn't somebody putting voices in my head, unless it's the government and their mind control wave brain device that shoots down from space. That's why the tinfoil. Mando, the gentleman who took a giant steaming dump in front of Nancy Pelosi's house, he got arrested. Okay? Within almost no time, he was picked up, questioned by local authorities at the behest of the DC authorities. Because, you see, defecating in front of Nancy Pelosi's house and then saying this is for Trump and live casting it, because he's IRL, in real life guy, right? That's a direct threat to a public official. Now, the one that kills me the most about this is, doesn't Nancy live in San Francisco? Isn't it completely legal to shit on the streets in San Francisco? Isn't defecating in the street a fine of somewhere between $50 and $500 in San Francisco? So what did this guy do wrong? He never threatened her. All he said is, this is for Trump, or this is from Trump, or some kind of Trumpian-related rhetoric that he closed out his video with for his fans. He banged up on federal charges. Now, you can make the argument, well, they couldn't arrest all the protesters. Why the fuck not? They're all doing it. You don't have to arrest all of them. You have video. You stand there for 5 minutes like everybody else with a cell phone, and you have video of every person you need to arrest. So you put them all in the back of the paddy wagon, you sort them out, you release the little fish you don't want, you keep the big fish you do. That's how that works. No, you see, the problem is, Orange Man is bad. Now, this has nothing to do with the police force other than the mucketees up on the top say, well, we can't do this, we're not going to do this, this will just cause this, and this, and this. It's bullshit. The one single guy, Mando, they clap his ass in irons in almost no time. Man takes poop in front of Nancy Pelosi's house and gets arrested. Full video will be the name of the video. I will stick it on my Minds and Gab pages if you want to go look it up. Links in the bottom in the description. As a matter of fact, I'll put the link in the bottom in the description. You can just click that and go there. He's facing federal charges for threatening, without ever actually threatening, Nancy Pelosi. McConnell, the other one where they're trying to intimidate them, straight up intimidation. So there's for RICO violations on here too, right? No, we can't charge any of these people because it'll just, incite rioting and cause problems and violence. If you don't start packing them up and putting them away, they're only going to do it anyway. You encourage them when you don't correct them. That's why every now and again your child needs a swat on the ass. I'm not calling for child abuse, just saying the age of you go sit in the corner and think about what you did doesn't work on my 2-year-old grandniece. Not Emma or Maddie, but my brother's eldest child. They stick her in the corner, stick her in timeout. She sits there, she bops around. She's got music playing in her head or something. Doesn't even friggin' faze her. Believe all you want, folks, but these same idiots that go around thinking that they're never going to get charged with anything and nothing bad can happen to them because they're special, because they're on the right side of communism and you're not. That's that entire generation of participation trophies and no swats to the ass. Spare the rod. Spoil the child. It's a hell of a lot older than Dr. Spock or whatever moron came up with this friggin' idea. Just saying. Not calling for child abuse, but every now and again, straightening your kid out before they really injure themselves or do something really stupid, not the worst course of action. So, Mando's going to face federal charges for threatening Nancy Pelosi because he defecated in her driveway. Now, Nancy Pelosi is not going to clean up her driveway. Understand that. Nancy Pelosi has somebody with a lot more melanin in her skin that takes care of her property, I would guarantee. His last name probably ends in a vowel or an easy. But the protesters who actually issue threats to at least Mitch McConnell, scot-free, don't worry about it. You know why? Because Orange Man is bad. Shit needs to be squared up, folks. This is getting fucking ridiculous. And it's also going to get fucking dangerous. When Tim Pool, of all people, and here is a man so blind to the rest of the world, he is dead set that his convictions are correct. And for him they are because they're his, but they're not for me. He's been changing his. Mine haven't really shifted in a long time. When he says that he is worried that this stuff is going to escalate and get out of hand, and he's pretty much oblivious to most of the facts anyway, that's something to pay attention to. Okay? Alrighty, folks, that's what I got for you. So just remember, even though it is a felony to spit, bite, vomit, sneeze, any kind, urinate, semen, any kind of bodily fluids, if you direct any bodily fluids at a healthcare worker or a police officer, or for all intents and purposes, anyone else, that's felony. That's a biological weapon. I don't see how pooping in front of Nancy Pelosi's house in a neighborhood where you're allowed, well, not in her neighborhood, but in a city where you're allowed to shit in the street openly, can't be viewed as anything other than political ploy. Here's some of the tape of the cop actually arresting Mando, by the way.
Don't reach for nothing.
I'm not.
Turn it up. Put your hands behind your back.
Good. I know what I'm being suspected of committing.
For defecating on a public official's property. That's what you're being investigated for. Any more questions? Okay, how do you turn this off?
I'd appreciate if you wouldn't turn it off, please, for my personal protection and my recording. Don't.
And they turn it off because screw his personal protection, right? I guess it's against the law to defecate on the property of a public official. When did we write that one in? And why did we ever have to? From Clown World, folks, just another shits and giggles report. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for putting some eyeballs on. Thanks for sharing. New folks, thanks for signing up. I'll see you later on. Adios. That's for Nancy Pelosi's groundskeeper, because he knows what it is.